Hi all you beautiful, amazing, fantastic, powerful, precious human beings. This is a little, it's a video between Christmas and New Year, and yeah, life is exciting, life is good, and I think it's very, it's a very special time this year, preparing for the next year that's to come, and according to many people, it's going to be a very fantastic year next year. So I'm excited, and I want to share with you something I've mentioned before. It's about water, and it's this Japanese man, Masaru Emoto, who I will show you this book, some pictures from this book. He actually, I think he was some sort of scientist, I can't really remember his exact story, but it was actually a bit of a coincidence. I saw on a little video the other day the fact that he got to find this. He thinks he doesn't really understand how it happened, but he saw a book. It was actually a children's book that his wife had on her table, and suddenly this thought came to his mind about water and about how it was about snowflakes, that book, and it struck him that he knew very well that there are not two snowflakes on the entire earth that are the same. And so he thought, then if you take a drop of water and you freeze it, it will not be the same as another drop of water. And so this started a search, and it took a while before he actually was able to take these photographs. But what he discovered was just absolutely fascinating. And I think it's very powerful and very useful for us in our lives, the story he tells and what he shows us. So what he found is that that water is affected by its surroundings, and it's actually, it holds a very great intelligence, or what can you say, it can actually it picks up whether something is negative or positive, and that's right into our own emotional way of seeing life and experiencing things. There are things that we feel are negative and give us a negative reaction in our life, and there are things that we feel really good about. And water is actually the same. It has the same, you can say it has the same values as human beings do. And it's just hard to fathom, how can this be, that something that seems so simple and that we're used to, it's just like all the other elements, the air and the soil and the animals. We've learnt to not respect them and not really consider that they have any value, or that they have any actual personality or feelings. But the thing is, they do. They do. So we think we are the ones who are the sentient beings, but actually the entire planet and probably the whole universe is sentient. Everything is experiencing something. And see, the thing is, we don't only get water from our tea. Water we drink, which is really important to get lots of water, especially now in this time, they say, and I can feel it in my own life, it's good to drink lots of water. But see, the body consists nearly only of water, and then empty space and whatever they've found out. But we need huge amounts of water because we are filled with water. Water makes the body well, the body consists of, is it 80% water or something? So the water inside us, if you can squeeze it out in our blood or lymph or something, and you put that in under a microscope, that would actually also show a picture. So yeah, so I can just go back. So that, yeah, that's why it's so. This is so useful, because not only should we think of the water we drink, but actually think of how the energy is in our own bodies, because our own bodies is also just like the water, picking up negativity and positive experiences. And the thing is, the most powerful thing we have that is affecting us is our mind. So I think this is so helpful to help us understand how important it is what we think, to start to take responsibility and listen what is going on in my mind. Because the real danger is never outside us in the newspapers or the neighbour, or the real danger, if we want to talk about something dangerous, is our own thoughts. And as soon as we tidy them up and make sure we have a positive attitude to life, our body, of course, is in a completely different state, because we've cleaned out everything that gives us a negative feeling. So let's have a look at this man here, this man's work. Alright, he writes in the beginning, it's in remembrance of my grandfather, my mother's father, my aunties and uncles. Now I have to get my glasses, there they are. So what he did to get these pictures is he takes 1 milliliter of water from some source, maybe from a well or from a lake or from the tap, and he has 50 little plastic containers, and they with a sprayer or little suck up thing, he puts 1 milliliter of water onto these 50 little test trays, and they're all covered and frozen, and then they're put under the microscope, and as the heat from the microscope is thawing the water, the crystals appear. And let's just go through the book here. So this is a crystal. See, the thing is, yeah, he affects, I forgot to say that, he takes them from different sources. Oh no, maybe I should just start off doing that. So this is some water. Now this is water that's been affected by a television and a computer. This is from the electromagnetic stress. So here on the top you have water this is the crystal of the water before it's affected by the TV, and this one is after. And underneath it's a computer. So here's the water crystal as it is before, and this is after. So this is structured water. Water in its natural form. See, water from the natural sources, from springs and from waterfalls and all natural places, they all have beautiful crystals. So the water is in it has an order, it has a beauty in it. So it's structured in a beautiful way, like God has created it. But when the water is affected by something stressful, it changes, and sometimes, as you see, the crystal disappears. So the order in the water is ruined. And here we have, on the top you have a mobile foam, that's before and after. And down here it's a microwave oven. So that's the damaging effect of this radiation. And this is actually one. Now there comes the amazing thing is that that the water can actually see and hear words, which you can't understand. So some of the water he puts either says to the water thank you, or another word, nice words, and words that we feel are negative, or he puts a picture by the water, or he writes the word and puts it by the glass of water, and then he sees what happens to the water that is structured. What happens to it? Does it become more beautiful, or does it become ugly? So here is an absolutely fascinating one. This is water from, wait a sec. This is a pond or a big lake where the water is apparently stressed by maybe pollution or something by the lake. It's affecting the water. And a Buddhist monk, he stands by the lake, and he recites or says a healing prayer, a Buddhist prayer, and that's what happens to the water. Is that not fascinating? So the prayer, you just can't believe it. This whole lake, I don't know how big it is, every single water molecule in this lake is affected by this monk's prayer. It just, and he probably doesn't even have to say it aloud. So this is just so fascinating, and of course there's people who don't believe this, but why should the man lie? It's just absolutely unbelievable. So now we have some water that's affected by music, and these 4 pictures are Vivaldi's 4 Seasons. What happens to the water structure when he plays that music? So the music, the the vibration of the music, the joy and the love from the music goes into the water. The water picks it up and changes its crystals according to how it experiences it. I mean, it is just so wonderful. These are 2 different types of music. The one here is jazz, some classical jazz or something like that, and this over here is heavy metal music. And we know from other, as most of us have heard about plants, how they are affected by what you actually say to them and music you play. But the fact that water changes so dramatically is just incredible. So there's many. It is I think just this book is just so wonderful. Here we have some. Now this is affected by some words, and these crystals are the word wisdom in different languages. Down here, which is fantastic also, this is you fool in the bottom here, you fool. And up here, you're beautiful. I just love this. I think it is so fantastic. And actually, when you ignore the water, the crystals disappear. So these are 3 ones here. Oh, this is also beautiful. This is water that's being ignored. And this one is "You are beautiful," said to a child or something. What does it say? No, it's when the children said "You are beautiful" just a few times, and this is when they say "You are beautiful" many times. And over here, it's the word cosmos. This is so fascinating. So I think we've seen enough now. Oh, here's the words Satan and angel. Let's just see them. This is when you say the word Satan, and this is the word angel. And the most, what he found was, because he was looking also for what is the word that gives the most beautiful crystal of all. And I think that is also very useful for us. What can we say or feel that will create that is actually the most high, that has the highest vibration of all words, and that would give the most beautiful crystal. Here we have it. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I think this one, no, I can't see that. Doesn't matter. This is the word thank you in Japanese. And over here it's all different languages. This is different languages, all thank you. I'll just show you this one. I'll just check something. Yes, I was just looking at which one this one was, and this is the one from the Buddhist monk that has been praying over the lake. That was the one. So this probably is the most beautiful one, I think, of all of them. And then groundwater or tap water in many cities is very bad. So this is some tap water on this page, from different cities. Yeah, and so the most beautiful ones come when you say something loving, and especially when you say thank you and you're grateful. That gives the most beautiful crystals. So I think we can use this in our lives when we think about how the water looks so different when it is affected differently. We can use this in our own lives, because all the water in us is affected by our thoughts. So when we think, when we feel the feeling of being grateful, and even say it loud, I feel grateful, I thank you. And of course when we're praying, thank you God for life, thank you for all that is. All the water, I'm very sure, all the water in our body is affected by this, and of course everything around us is affected by it. I think this is very useful to use when we are going into the new year, thinking about what is it I want to do in the next year, what is it I really wish for myself and for the world. So thank you, Masaru Emoto, for this gift to the world. See you, my friend.